So the main reason for Shadrach Sibiya to be there was to go there and take the firearm that killed Senzo. So the main reason for Shadrach Sibiya to be there was to go there and take the firearm that killed Senzo.
Hey, tada! We are back with another video. The page, it is South African Lead News, the source that you can trust. What I've just played there is just a reminder that Shadrach Sibiya is still in hot water. Reports are that he will be arrested after he has given evidence in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. So now I think the police are just waiting so that he can finish whatever he's doing at home to prepare for his evidence at Madlanga, and then thereafter they'll act. But reports suggest that there is sufficient evidence to arrest Shadrach Sibiya. I'm glad that action will finally be taken against him because of his involvement in the crime scene of Senzo Meyiwa. Remember that before the arrival of Mosia at their house, it is confirmed that there was a meeting that was held in the house while it was still an active crime scene. So Sibiya was part and parcel of the people that tarnished or damaged the evidence in that house, because when they held the meeting, they were touching exhibits, touching the doors and moving around the house and destroying crucial evidence. So Sibiya, it is alleged that in that meeting, it is where the theory of the intruder was approved. So the people that were in the house were told to stick to the theory because they were protecting someone very important. And we know what happened after that day, weeks after the death of Senzo Meyiwa. It is confirmed that Sibiya had a meeting with Chicco Twala. Why would Chicco Twala meet with Shadrach Sibiya? Well, the common denominator, it is Longo Twala. Longo Twala was the one at the crime scene. Chicco was not at the crime scene. So Sibiya was part of the investigators. So we know what was going on there. Advocate Devo told us that Sibiya was allegedly bribed by Chicco Twala, where he gave him over R1 million. It is an allegation that he made on Lasizo's show and on MacG. So I was hoping that the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry and the other committee in Parliament would investigate those matters, because they are part and parcel of Sibiya's history. In order to bring down Sibiya, the state should have included every case so that when they bring him to court, they've got a tight evidence. So I'm disappointed that they did not investigate much his involvement in the Meyiwa case. But it is clear to me that Shadrach Sibiya interfered at the crime scene of Senzo Meyiwa because of that meeting that they held there. You cannot hold a meeting at an active crime scene. The people that should be allowed to go to the crime scene are investigators like Chris Mangena. Okay, igama labo kuthiwa yini? Kuthiwa ama-forensic expert. That's the name that we need. Not head of the Hawks or deputy commissioners, because they know nothing about forensic. We needed abantu abafana no Mangena to swab the crime scene to make sure that they have taken the fingerprints at the door, they've taken the fingerprints in the kitchen, the fingerprints everywhere. But that was not done in the Meyiwa case because of Sibiya's involvement. We know that for a fact. We know what Noma Phiri cleaned the crime scene when everyone was at the hospital. But Phiri was not charged because she should have been charged with defeating the ends of justice. You cannot touch the crime scene before you are given a go-ahead by the lead investigator. So in this case of the Meyiwa crime scene, everyone was doing whatever they want to do because nobody gave a damn about Senzo Meyiwa, which makes it sad because Meyiwa was a captain of Orlando Pirates and also an occasional captain for Bafana Bafana. But I'm hoping that Sibiya one day will be arrested and face the music for his ill deeds in the Meyiwa crime scene. And then I would like to talk about something else as well, which is very important. the people that betrayed Senzo Meyiwa the most. Who are those people? There are two of them. One, Mthokozisi Thwala and Ntuna Madlala. Those two were his childhood friends. So why they are lying? Why they are not telling the truth about what happened in the crime scene or what happened on the day that Senzo lost his life? That is very important, because those two people should be loyal to Senzo Meyiwa because they were his friends. But they chose him to sell him, like Judas Iscariot did to Jesus Christ. So those two can be called Judas Iscariot because they did not tell the police the truth. So what could be the reason with Labo Boyituba Kambamanga? Well, it is alleged that in that meeting, all the people in the house were offered money. It's an allegation, unproven, untested. But it seems like those two were offered money for their silence. So, impilo senzo kubona, to me, it was not important. Into ebaleka kubona yini imali, because as soon as he died, they didn't give a damn about him. They did not give a damn about his mother or his family or South Africans at large. So Utumela Madlala and Mthokozisi Thwala are the real Judas Iscariot in this case. They know him from Umlazi back in the days, but when they are in a foreign land like in Johannesburg, at a time when he needs them the most, they let him down. Once he died, they forgot about his family, his mother. Most importantly, they forgot about their friendship. What type of people are those? Those are traitors. Those are both Judas Iscariot. We know what for a fact before the arrival of Shadrack Sibiya, he phoned Mlungisi Hlophe, who is the brother-in-law of Senzo Meyiwa. He phoned him and told him the truth ukuthi Senzo has been shot ngephutha eTutulo Bani uLongo Thwala. That was before he was influenced by Abu Sibiya and the people that were in the house, allegedly. So we know for the fact that Utumela Madlala was prepared to tell the truth before the arrival of Sibiya, which means during that time between the arrival of Kamosiya and Nabaya Maphoyisa, wafika uShadrack Sibiya. That is where there was a meeting in that house. So Utumela must have been warned or been told or been threatened, or he was given money as it was alleged by Abotefu. So one of those reasons, whichever reason, it is irrelevant, because they should have taken care of Senzo's interest more than Abu Sibiya and the money and so forth. So I'm very disappointed with Labanda Way too. They continued with their life once Senzo is gone and came to court and lied about his death. Because that's what they did. They lied about how Senzo was shot. Senzo was not shot by an intruder. There was no intruder in that house. But Utumela Madlala, Mthokozisi Thwala lied under oath. For what reason? Well, how do I know that? Well, one of them, he sold Senzo Meyiwa's photos to Netflix for that series without the permission of the Meyiwa family. And Msholelo, when he asked him, okay, Wati, did you share some of that money with the Meyiwa family? But that was my money, because those photos were taken by me or by my phone, so they were my property. But they have no shame, because Senzo had died. You can't just sell items umuntu ongasekho kanjalo, especially umuntu ongumngani wakho. So these guys are the true Judas Iscariot. They sold out Senzo Meyiwa when he was gone. And the sad part is that uPutuka Senzo ubani uSifiso Meyiwa, he says when Mthokozisi Thwala is drunk around Umlazi, he cries sometimes and then almost confesses. He says, hey, Ulongwe, ulongo yinja, ulongo udodi, ushushu sabuza ukuthi what yini ayenza angachazi. So it shows ukuthi i-conscience iyamudla ngaphakathi because uwumuntu naye, as umuntu khona ezikudlayo. Once waphuza, then your innermost thoughts can be seen. But anyway, one day I'm hoping that they'll have a change of heart and then tell the truth because it is important. Ukuthi ubani oboshwayo, I don't think it's relevant at this stage because the Meyiwa family have said that they have forgiven the shooter of Senzo Meyiwa. All they want is the truth. So I'm hoping that one day uTumelo Madlala noMthosi Sitshwala will find it in their heart ukuthi bakhulume iqiniso, because this thing of an intruder, we were told that the intruder came into the house and then Longotwala was the first to run out. But Izinkabi, they let Ulongotwala run out, did not chase him or shoot him. And then Senzo was only shot with one bullet. And then our witnesses, they were left in the house. Iy'nkabi azikwenzi lokho. If iy'nkabi zifika endlini zidubula kwasanda, it was a shock ukuthi there are no witnesses are left behind. So if those were Nkabis that shot Senzo, then everyone in the house was going to be shot dead, because that's how Nkabis operate. So the person that shot Senzo was an amateur because he shot one bullet and then that's it. So it shows ukuthi omunye walaba abasendlini wamdubula ngephutha, as per statement sikaMlungu Zihlope. But uBrigadier Gininda decided to ignore the statement. He did not mention it in court when he was giving his evidence in chief. Why? Because he did not support the narrative state of which is the intruder theory. Yabo. That statement on its own should create a reasonable doubt in Ratha's mind. Why am I saying so? If there are any elements in this case which the judge is not sure about, then the benefit should go to the accused, because it is better to let a guilty man free rather than sending an innocent man to prison. Yeah, it's better because you cannot take a risk. So Brigadier Gininda, one day he'll have to account for the way he investigated this case. And then we come to confessions. Why do you solely rely on confessions? It shows that this case was not investigated properly from the beginning. That's it. From the tainted crime scene to the tainted evidence to the witnesses that are contradicting each other, this case was a mess from the start, which shows Uguti, you've got the wrong man before court. That's it. That's it. There's no any other way of explaining it. But Ubaloyena as an advocate of the court is wrong, because he should have seen the evidence Gininda ayihlangani. But as Ubaloyi he went ahead and charged innocent men, even after Warrant Officer Makubo came to him with docket 75 and he said, Baloyi, here's a docket. Eliqiniso elikhombisa ukuthi ubani waduba isenzo. But Baloyi decided to ignore Makubo. After that, Makubo was persecuted because he did not want to fall in line with other police officers to believe in this hogwash. Docket 636. The same happened to Joseph Buthelezi. After she investigated docket 375, Buthelezi was also demoted because they were trying to force her, which angakhulumi lutho ngodocket 375, because it was against the state narrative. But one day the truth will be revealed, because nothing remains hidden forever. Gininda, Baloyi, even Ratha, because Yambon is biased. One day they'll live their day because of the way they handled this case. The guys that are before court are innocent. It is clear now from day one with Laban Labangek. One thing that is for sure, Utulo, Ulongotwala, one day naye, Ola Kurusu Luyez, liyezulu like, but uyabona na kule nsuku ukuthi impilo yakhe ayihambi kahle ever since kwashona uSenzo. It shows ukuthi he was cursed the day Senzo was shot. He was cursed the day he chose to lie. He was cursed the day he allegedly shot Senzo Meyiwa by mistake and lied about it. If Longwe had spoken the truth from day one, I think by now he would have been out of prison, because he was not going to be charged of murder. He was going to be charged of accidental shooting. That's it. Accidental shooting. In legal term, they call it a culpable homicide. That's it. The most he was gonna be facing is like 8 years, and thereafter, good behavior, will be out in prison in 4 years. So Senzo died in 2014. So if he told the truth, he was gonna be in prison for 4 years, like 2015, 16, 17, 18. 2019 is out. But because of the lies and the deceit, he is now cursed. He is in and out of rehab because of this case. He is in and out of prison because of the curse of the Senzo Meyiwa case. Had he told the truth, ngaba ukho nje. But asikho ke lapho. Hopefully one day conscience yabo iyovela ibasize, especially uTumelo Madlala and Mthozi Tshwala, because those were the friends of Senzo Meyiwa. Those are the people that should have taken the interest of Senzo Meyiwa, but they chose to lie. Anyway, thank you for watching. The case continues.